This is Harsh Rules. I'm Ben Harsh, and today I want to talk about the poll I put up a few days ago. It was asking about whether or not you guys found the component pages useful. And I really appreciate everyone that voted on that. That was really helpful for me. So what I was trying to solve for, which I alluded to a little bit in the post, was they do take a lot of time to make. And I had this kind of unconscious fear that while I'm pouring a day or so into building all these slides, that they're on the screen so briefly and you guys look at them and then, but you're really like, yeah, I know, I have the game, I have the box, can we just get on with the video? And I feel like there's a segment of the population that watches these videos that's just like, hurry up and get on with it. So from a creation standpoint, I've got to try to get through the intro as fast as possible. And the other aspect is, like, if your whole time budget on a particular game is, a week per episode, let's say, if you're spending a couple days just building a slide that's going to make up maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes of that video, is that really the best way to spend the time on that? Would it be better to put that someplace else? Now, that's the one side I had. On the other side was like, well, what if they don't own the game? What if they are thinking about buying the game and they're just looking for information and they just want to, like, how hard is this to play? What do I get in the box? Because, I probably should get some examples and show you guys, but not everybody is the best at marketing in the board game industry. I know, big shocker, right? But when you look at a box and you're like, well, what do I actually do? It's got great art, but, like, and you flip it over and you find out it's full of cubes and things like that, and you're like, yeah, I'm more of a Ameritrash gamer. I don't want to play with cubes. So that's kind of one of the things that we were looking at is someone who's no experience with the game. They want to know how hard it is to learn. What do I actually do in this game? Those component pages help paint that picture. So you look at that and you go like, oh, there's like little plastic figurines and there's dice and there's cards and there's quite a lot of stuff in the box. Or, God, this is really abstract. I don't know if this is the right game for me. So those component pages help set up kind of what's going on. So I always envision these things that when you start into a tutorial and trying to imagine if I don't know anything about it and I'm watching it cold, I'm like, okay, this looks vaguely interesting. I'm going to go in, click on the video. We got to get through all the channel promotional business of, what this channel is. You're going to have a narrator, the style, and you get to the pages like, oh, here's this game. Like, you got a couple pages show you this is what's in the box. Okay. And then you're going to have a section that's going to say, this is what you actually do. And you're like, oh, okay. And then now let's learn how to play this kind of from soup to nuts at a more granular level. So when you move through that, then, I feel like you're a little bit better grounded. In my earlier videos, I think I jumped into the description way too fast. While I've always had some component pages for a little bit of grounding, I've felt that there's been a lot of, where it's like, well, wait, I didn't know what you're talking about, whatever. So I've tried to make more of an effort to go through and build out those sections so that, with that mindset that I've never seen this game, the box art looks intriguing, or I just randomly clicked on this video for the hell of it, and now I'm into this thing, and what is it about, walk it through. So when I was asking you guys for help on that, which I really appreciate, I had the lurking fear, like, what if I spend all this time on this and nobody actually cares or looks at it, right? On the flip side, it's like, hopefully there's people out there that actually use this material and like, like it, and it seems logical to me that you would have it. So I was looking for both feedbacks, and you guys responded to me. That was great. I think I know what I need to do. I want to find ways, because we had 27% of folks say no, and 73% said yes. So no, drop those pages, but the context of some of the write-in, which was useful, was along the lines of, yeah, I can live without it. What I really watch these for is the clear instruction, and there's lots of visuals there. That's fine. The other people said, no, I need them. It's, this is kind of an element of the video. It's very comprehensive that way. So I think ultimately I'm going to figure out a way to do this faster. I'm not sure if I'm going to incorporate more. If the rule books, like I'm working on this one right now, War of the Ring, that you guys are excited about. If the rule book, which this one does, has really nice, pictures of all the components, and it's really well done. I'm really impressed so far with this in rule book as far as, being friendly. Now, there is a lot of text, and it's a very dense rule book. But at the beginning, it has some good pictures so that you can, know what you're looking for. I think previous ones I've worked on, I don't think Hamilcar was that clear in the rule book with components, because I know I had to jump all over the net to try to find out what does this piece do, what does this mean. But this Eras games, their manual at least is a little more straightforward. But I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to incorporate some of the stuff from the manual into it to save time. Maybe, like some of you suggested, I'll take out the pieces and take a picture and then, annotate them. So in other games I've done, particularly when I do older games, I have to photograph every one of those pieces. So I'm on, I can't remember, some of the Axis and Allies. I think the last Axis and Allies game I did, which was Axis and Allies Pacific. So I went through and photographed all of the components. I mounted them in my studio and took photos, and then cut out the backgrounds and made little pictures, and then glued them on the page with the numbers so that you would have an idea. It took quite a bit of time, but I didn't see that that wasn't really a thing in the rule book. And if you get this, or and this is me overthinking it probably, but there's some folks out there that like myself that will pick up stuff used. These games are not cheap. So sometimes if you find them at a used store or Goodwill or something, and it's a nice cheap price, you're like, huh, and you get it home and you're like, now do I have everything, or did some kid get into it and take out the figures, or the person who traded it in just was missing pieces. So that helps inventory things, so you're sure you got all that. And I know there's other places on the web you can do that. So that was another thought that I had. But going forward on War of the Ring, which is the next video, I'm going to try something a little different this time. I'm going to tell you what I'm working on, and I don't know if that's going to be better or worse, because this is a big one. It's going to take some time, so please be patient with me. Usually I don't tell you guys what I'm working on, because then I get lots of people pinging like, when is it? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? I'm like, no, not yet. I'm going as fast as I can. And when I feel like I get rushed is when mistakes happen, or I gloss over things that really need a lot more detail. So let's experiment with this. This War of the Ring is what I'm working on next. And War of the Ring has a lot. There's just baggies full of stuff. Figures and more figures. And here's the Fellowship in a little bag of its own. And then there's all kinds of dice. And I'll probably need to scan these because they have elven runes on them, looks like. So that's what I'm working on. Appreciate your help. Because if everyone had voted, no, don't waste your time with that, I'm not even looking at that, then I'd be like, all right, well, I guess I misjudged what's useful to people, and then we could have trimmed it or downplayed it a lot and just got into the tutorial. So this is just another one of these updates where I wanted to get back to you guys. I have other things that are on my mind as well. I'll probably poll you in the future for that. So that's all I got for right now. So as usual, my outro, this is Ben Harsh for Harsh Rules. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.